Let's get into another story with Stephen A. Smith, my dog, tells Kyrie Irving to quit basketball if he hates media coverage. Earlier this week, Kyrie Irving unleashed yet another rant against the media where he pleaded for fans to ignore the television personalities who mix sports with politics and lifestyle when they're discussing his impending free agency. Irving didn't mention Stephen A. Smith by name, but I did, damn it. All right. What does Kyrie talk about right there? That's already something to stop down on. The integration of all elements and attributes of our world into just a pure sports conversation. It's kind of tricky right there. We're going to have some fun with that. So during the episode on Get Up, Stephen A. Smith said and bluntly stated that if Kyrie Irving has a problem with the way the media is covering him and talking about him, there's a pretty simple solution. Quit playing in the NBA. Quote, respectfully to Kyrie Irving, who doesn't want us talking about him. Don't play basketball, Smith said. Who can impersonate Stephen A? He that big. We talk about basketball. Nobody's talking about his personal life. Nobody's talking about the tweets from months ago. Nobody's talking about all the things that he's got himself involved with, headlines and whatever. Stephen A. Smith sounds so much better when you hear him, not read him. It sounds so much better. He said, Kyrie Irving is a good dude. That's smarter than people give him credit for. But I do think it's utterly ridiculous for him to be telling people they don't know. Don't listen to them. Well, why wouldn't they listen to us? We're just talking basketball. He always dropped this word. We're prognosticating about where you could potentially go. Nobody says they know or anything like that. And if you don't want us to talk about you as a basketball player, quit, because we're going to talk about you. Ooh, Stephen A. gave it to him. All right, now what did he give him? Stephen A. didn't give Kyrie the necessary response for what Stephen A. is saying because, frankly, Stephen A. has admitted before that it is personal with Kyrie. Now, I don't know if this is conjecture or not, but supposedly Kyrie's dad was a New York City baller, and that's Stephen A. Smith's era, and they had some issues, and it's kind of bled into Kyrie. I don't know how far out of bounds I just went, but that's what I heard. But I do know that I've heard quotes before where it's personal with Stephen A. and Kyrie. That said, Kyrie has a tremendous point here. In part why I started to inch away in terms of my heart and fulfillment with sports media. Because everyone's getting rewarded right now to talk more than just the game, talk more than just the information present, to talk not just deeper about the game, but try and go deeper about the person. And then whoever has the best presentation of that, whoever could blend those two things becomes the bigger personality. That's why everybody wants to be, who are the top three dogs? Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, to me is the top three, right? Now, what do they all have in common? One, they never played pro sports. Two, what do they all have in common? They will go to the echo of the whistle, as they say in ball, right? They go much farther than any of the other people you can name that are not pro athletes, former athletes, and farther than even the pro athletes will go. You get the point? So those guys have become who they are because they're entertaining, they're informative, but at the same time, they will go there. They'll call somebody out their name, right? They'll start joking on somebody's name. They'll take whatever they can get and use it against them, right? And we've seen that before. So when you're watching Kyrie give somebody 30, 10, and 8, you don't hear 30, 10, and 8 conversations all the time. You hear, but this is the guy who thinks the earth is flat. You hear, how many times we hear that? You hear this is the guy that reposted a link to some hate crimes and some hate speech. You hear all of that and you're like, dog, I just tuned in for 30, 10, and 8. And I just saw it. So Kyrie has a tremendous point, but Kyrie has to also understand you can't control the monster. So since you can't control the monster, I don't say give in to it, but ignore the monster. That's how the game goes. So Kyrie, I'm with you on this one. And Stephen A. knows, hey, to build up who he is, he's done a lot of those things, even if he's not guilty in this moment.